Hey guys, Sean here. So today I have a special video for you guys. It's a lot of utility, a lot of knowledge. We're going to be looking at Astralis, of course. No other team but them. They've recently had a bit of a hiccup on Inferno, if I'm being honest. Only 11-5 in the last 6 months. Given the teams they're playing, you can see the bottom of your screen right now. That's forgivable. And it's not because of their CT side. I mean, you can even see the distribution of rounds won right here. Almost 55% on the CT side. And that's given the fact that, you know, they're starting T side in a lot of these matches. So what we're going to look at is their banana control, how they play passive in the site, what they do in anti-ecos. We're going to really go through the whole thing. And I'm really passionate about this because I want everyone in the pro scene to be approaching the V site the way Astralis approaches it, right? I think there's a reason why they're so successful on this map. And what I'm seeing when I watch these other teams play isn't necessarily like they're learning from Astralis and they're trying to get better. So I want to see more of this. And that's what my goal of this video is. You can see here, Astralis' utility damage in the last 6 months, even though they've kind of struggled 11-5, still 59.4, you know. Obviously on top of the scene with a statistic like that. The round win percentage on CT side, still second best in the world, only to Liquid, right? A little bit surprising considering Liquid's results. But obviously these teams are doing it in very different ways. Astralis using utility, Liquid more like multi-frags and things like that, using their star players. Something to also look at, when I looked at all of these matches that Astralis has played lately, the only match where they didn't have a positive CT side is this Renegades one. And they didn't even get to finish it because they had a 12-3 first half. So even though they're losing these matches, their CT side has not taken a step back. That same utility that they've always used is still there. It's still punishing teams. And they're still probably, in my eyes, the most feared team in the world on this map, even though they're not actively picking into it as much as they used to. So we're going to hop in. I'm going to show you guys why they're so feared. I think you can take tons of this stuff and bring it into your own game. We're also going to try some new cool things with editing throughout this video. Let me know what you think about the video as well as the editing. So let's hop straight into it. All right, we're going to fly into this like my boy Zipix right here. So this is an anti-eco against evil geniuses. Obviously, they're going against a force buy, but we're going to get an idea for how Astralis approaches these rounds where they have a much better economy than the opposing team, or when they have SMGs, right? And they want to shorten the distance of the fights. So let's take a look. So right off the bat, we have the deep smoke coming in from Zipix, the deep molly coming in from Glaive, and this is the exact protocol they'll use every time, right? First guy throws the deep smoke, then follows it up with the close molly. Second guy comes in, throws that deep molly, and then this first guy is kind of just jump spotting. He's going to basically be the guy that's in charge of spotting Banana. You can see he's looking, he sees Stan, and Stan gets caught between those two mollies and burnt. Now they're going to take that advantage and play passive, and we're going to see how they end up holding this site, okay? So you can see Glaive still has a smoke. Zipix jiggle peeking. And Glaive going to get close. Throw a little nade. But it doesn't really matter. This round's going towards A right now. And then they're running back B. Glaive's smoke is up because he threw it around 40 seconds. EG probably should have waited this smoke out. They pay for it. And triple kill for Glaive. Let's go straight into the next round. So this is a full eco. And you can see actually how things play out, right? So we're gonna head over to Banana right now. Let's fast forward this bad boy, and what you're gonna see is literally the exact same protocol. So deep smoke, close molly, deep molly, and now Glaive's jump spotting. They're gonna nade into logs because obviously when you molly here and here, the spot remaining is here. So you can see their nades, they're double nading there. They now have full banana control, spamming Stan through the smoke on Lucko, and now they're going to retreat back to the site, right? Because they sense all those people coming into Banana. They use their smoke, and typically they probably wouldn't do that, I would say. But what you might not have noticed was Magic's pushing in the apps, end up going through alt mid. Sometimes they actually go down mid as well. Basically, they're hyper aggressive on the extremities of the map for the most part on these full ecos, and it's because the only way to win them is to do stuff like EG just did and then overwhelm the B bomb site. Well, you can't do that if there's also a guy pushing apps and is behind you. So it's really cool how they approach, you know, these full eco rounds. Anyway, let's go to the next clip. So here we have the dreaded mid-half eco, right? So here's the scoreboard. You know, we're deep into the half, right? But Astralis is still going to approach this round a lot like how they do the second round of the half after they win the pistol, right? Or even the third round, like we saw previously. And that's why I'm including this one in. Also, they use a very cool bait setup that I'd really like to show you guys. So we're going to look at that too. This is a setup they'll use a lot. So you can see they nade into logs. And the other nade they'll typically throw when they do this is the one you're seeing Xyp9x throw right now, right? It's going to blow up on the ramp here. So the two areas that, you know, are kind of negated from Molotovs are going to be this area right here, all up in here, as well as this. So someone could play between them, like we saw Stan do earlier. They could go into, you know, the logs corner right here, or most likely, you know, there's probably a T like lurking somewhere here or against this wall here. So when Astralis approaches Banana on these rounds, they're jump spotting to see if a guy gets logs. Sometimes they don't have the timing, so they just throw nades blindly into that corner, which is what you saw previously. Other times, you know, they're pretty confident no one's going to run into there on an eco, so they save their nade, you know, to nade through to get this ramp guy who's probably sitting there ready to jump through the smoke. Or alternatively, you'll always see them spam, you know, down here for a couple bullets. That's why you'll see them get a lot of smoke kills. They've thought all this stuff out, right? So you can see they're just getting banana control still. Xyp9x still has his smoke. So another important thing to note is the guy pushing the bottom is never the guy with the smoke, right? They do this setup a lot, and they're very smart because they want this guy in the back to sit onto his smoke unless they're going to stay fighting for banana all round, which probably actually will be the case this round. And you can see what Xyp9x is doing. He's jumping right to left because jumping left to right would be more dangerous. He would then be behind a spammable object on the when he lands. So the second he gets flashed, he sees someone, they see him, which means all eyes and all focus are on Xyp9x. It's kind of opening things up a little bit for Glaive, and you can see he gets a nice little tag in, and this is where things go a little bit awry, right? They don't mess around. Once, you know, Glaive is in trouble, you can see immediately Xyp9x is smoking the bottom. He's ready to fight to protect him, and Glaive is just pre-firing the corner. So it's just immediately, I've got to protect Glaive, and surprisingly, neither of them die this round. In fact, they walk out of this round, I believe, with 2 kills apiece. Yep. So that's how they approach a lot of anti-ecos. That bait setup in particular is something that's super solid, right? The angle that Glaive takes in the bottom of banana is a very strong angle. So I highly recommend doing stuff like that. Bait setups, you know, where a guy in the back is just spotting for info, draws attention, and not overcommitting till he dies, right? If Xyp9x were to overcommit to death, that would totally screw Glaive over because he's not going to multi-frag from that spot after Xyp9x falls. He's probably going to get traded out. The B site will be lost. Xyp9x knows that, and you know, he's just spotting for info, and he only commits when that smoke's up. All right, guys, so for this part of the video, we're going to be focusing on one of my favorite sets of utility I've seen in the last 6 months. It is super cool. So at the start of the round, you can see Astralis isn't planning on playing super aggressively this round. This is almost like a hard counter for someone that decides to rush up to half wall. You can see they both have nade primed. They both are sitting at the corner, and they're both just waiting until they hear someone, you know, take by car. Because what it means when you hear a guy come by the car, say like where this nade blew up, is that he likely has teammates supporting him from behind. So when Astralis is sitting here with this double nade waiting to hear someone by the car or close, it's more than likely that the person that's going to get all of that damage would be the support, right? Or the person, typically, honestly, the carries, right? That's why a lot of the times in the past, Simple has had such a hard time dealing with Astralis, particularly on Inferno, because, you know, he might have his entry fragger run up, and his entry fragger might be able to get past these nades on a default where they're not controlling banana, but Simple will take, you know, 80 damage in nades at the start of the round. Obviously, he's grown a lot smarter of all these little tricks, so it doesn't really work on him so much anymore. But we'll see. This is actually not the cool thing that I wanted to show you guys about the utility set. So you can see right now, Glaive just flash peeking for info, trying to see, who's in banana. He's just jiggle peeking for info, right? He's not trying to get frags right now. And this is the utility set that I was talking about. So you can see Xyp9x actually lines up, and we'll see it again, so don't worry. We'll get to that lineup in a second. Xyp9x lines up, and this is where he's aiming. He's just waiting, right? So now he's jiggle peeking. He's waiting, for later in the round to come. Glaive still has a smoke as well. So look at all of this utility that Astralis has right now. We're at 1 minute, 7 seconds in the round. They have 2 smokes, a Molotov, 2 flashes, and 2 nades. There is no way G2 is entering this bomb site, right? There's just no way. And you can see he's looking at the tiles. He finds the middle one, and then he aims right here at the corner. It's so simple. It's so easy to line this up. Top first oranges, and he throws the smoke. He throws the molly, and we can see how that goes, right? So smoke molly right there. There's no place for the T's to hide. And they counter molly the corner, and they're double sitting in the center of banana. And this is where those nades that we saw early round, a lot of the times when Astralis throws this utility, they follow it up with HE nades because they know what you like doing, what you love doing as a T when you see this come in late round, right? You see this smoke, this molly over here come in, you like boosting behind the half wall, right? You like boosting right here, you like peeking over, maybe you like head stacking back here on top the logs. Astralis is aware of all of that nonsense, and that's what we're gonna see right now, watch. So that's Glaive throwing the initial nade, right? Look at how much damage it's about to do. Okay, so you saw Amonic and Nexa's HP drop. Now, if Glaive wasn't blocking Xyp9x right here, this is a 2K, 100%. This is a 2 kill. But what ends up happening is they realize there's no way they're taking banana this round. There's just too much utility left. If Astralis has all this control with 50 seconds left, they still have a smoke, it forces them to go back to the A site. And that's what makes it so difficult to hit this B site on Astralis, is you're never getting fair fights, ever. You are never getting fair fights in this bomb site. So you can see now Glaive's kind of moving out. He still has a smoke, keep that in mind. Xyp9x is playing spawn, and now Glaive, they switch roles, right? So Xyp9x is spotting the crack, and you can see Glaive just sitting here with the smoke primed, but it really doesn't matter because they've already filtered the T's into the A site. And also, Xyp9x is comfortable leaving Glaive at B because he knows Glaive has a smoke. And you can see, again, the second he leaves, Glaive takes this role. He smokes B with 25 seconds left, which gives the T's no time if they run out that smoke. And look at how he's playing, right? He's just sitting here playing anti-flash. He's just waiting. He's begging the T's to throw a pop flash and come through the smoke. And he's going to swing out around this corner and probably get 2 to 3 kills. And just in case someone's walking through, I'll check it every like 10 seconds. But the round is over. Astralis has stacked the A site. It's an easy round for them. And it just shows how utility alone dictated exactly what G2 did. That is the value of this utility set. But you can see, actually, they're going to use it for so much more. So let's actually go a couple rounds further. And I believe it's 12-12. So looking at my notes here. So we're going to go 12-12. And again, we're going to have, this time, Device is actually going to come to B with his AWP, right? So it's Device and Xyp9x coming towards B early round. And you can see they're starting off the round in a very similar way. Xyp9x just dumps a nade early. And they're kind of just trying to bait. What they do typically when they do these kind of early setups is they try to force someone to come into Device's op, right? So it didn't happen. So Device knows he can kind of chill behind this molly just barely right here. He now knows someone has worked up to half wall, right? And you heard, I'm not sure if you guys could hear that, but Xyp9x is top first oranges actually dumping that utility set that we previously talked about. So there's the smoke. The molly's about to follow it up. We saw how they land. Now watch Device. So this guy's going to run directly into Device because Nexa knows what comes next. He's trying to take the fight. He's trying to take the fight because he thinks a rifle is there, because he's probably watched the demos like I have, right? He's trying to challenge Glaive in CT spawn, but this is different. Astralis has so many different looks. And you can see, again, forces the T's off. Banana Banana is Astralis', and the round's actually going to end up in the A site. Device is going to sit on this utility all round. There's, again, no chance for the T's to even enter the B bomb site. And if they did, it would be so incredibly obvious to these 3 people at the A site, because it would take an immense amount of utility and tons of presence to get all of this utility out of these players. All right, so here we have that same demo, right? We saw the actual anti-eco in this half. This is the first gun round, right? So they had a B hold, and right off the bat, because of this utility set, they're able to play Xyp9x in the B site solo. I mean, also a lot of things go into play here, right? Liquid hit B early, so they probably don't expect much of the B hit here. You can see Xyp9x kind of making a presence. Banana throwing that early nade. Does tons of damage, by the way, of course. It's a perfect grenade, actually, for those wondering. It lands right in the middle of Banana. Lands right there. So, I mean, it literally couldn't be in a better spot. It could hit someone going into logs or that cubby hole. And then Xyp9x climbing up to his little perch, per usual, lining up the nade set that we previously went over, and he hears Liquid, right? This is what I was referring to earlier. So Liquid preemptively threw this counter smoke to kind of prevent any kind of aggression coming out of Astralis. Little did they know, Xyp9x was going to be here by himself this round. They're trying to force the utility out of Astralis. This is probably one of the best ways to beat them, is trying to get this utility out of them early. Liquid's willing to take the HE damage to do that. You can see, so they both work up really quickly. They're trying to get past the nades, like I was referring to. Didn't really work because Astralis switches up their nades, as you just saw. Xyp9x playing in the site. He's going to throw the smoke molly combo because he hears these guys close, and he's going to flash on the roof, right? And the reason why he's going to flash on the roof is because in case someone like Stewie is in front of his molly, right, which is over in this direction, he's going to run this way, and Xyp9x's flash is going to pop up in this area, so it would blind Stewie and thus give Xyp9x a free frag. So you can see he's waiting, he hears his flash pop, he commits out wide, and Stewie can't get out the molly. And that's in large part due to the damage that Xyp9x's nade did early round in combination with the molly, in combination with the flash, right? There's so much perfect utility usage in one clip. I'm about to just literally nut my pants. Like, I can't even control myself. I'm so excited about this. So now Glaive is rotating back to the site. Xyp9x got that molly frag on Stewie, so Glaive is thinking, as well as Xyp9x, that there's probably a couple more players super aggressive, right? So he flashes, and he's going to throw that molly again at the corner. And he's going to follow it up with that nade that we were talking about. Watch. So he's following up with that nade, and you can see Elysia is already at 43 HP. So the Astralis members have not seen a single player this round, but yet they have a frag, Elysia at 43 HP, and Nitro at 63 HP. I mean, that's just mind-boggling. Like, I can't even wrap my head around this. Let's go forward 2 rounds, right? So it's literally 2 rounds. So here we have kind of like an eco. I'm going to go past that. And we're going to actually see the same utility set come out one more time. So we're going to have a 3-man B set up early round. And let's just see how they set up early round, right? So Xyp9x has a flash primed. So you can see Xyp9x actually is coming straight to this flash, right? He's aiming in this direction just in case the T's just rush up nonstop. They have an exit route or a way to take fights. Typically, stuff like this serves as something to, say Stewie is through. He's probably not going to get really blind from this flash, but his teammates back here that are trying to follow up and support him, they're probably going to eat that flash, which would make Stewie be all by himself and kind of makes, it very difficult on the entry fraggers to know when they should commit, when they should fall back. That's the value of flashes like that. So we're just going to go right back into the clip. And there's the nade off the half wall. You can see Stewie is just tanking damage from this utility, right? They put out the deep smoke right here. And this is something you'll see a lot out of Astralis, actually, is when device ops Banana, they don't really like throwing this close molly. And the reason being is because they want people to come into device, right? So by throwing this deep molly way down here, what they're trying to do is force a T to come forward into device's angle, right? That's what they're trying to do. It's actually brilliant. And if they don't, and if they start using a lot of utility, Device typically will just spam this wall and do tons of damage, right? And they're throwing the nades. So there's so much craziness going on that makes Banana difficult to take. Whew. Okay. Back into it. So Device eating a nade, playing behind this molly. We've seen this before. Xyp9x sitting on this car smoke molly again, right? So you see, this is Liquid kind of adapting a bit, right? They probably watched tons of Astralis demos, and you can see Elige is on half wall. He made a pretty sweet jump, like kind of like stylish movement to get up here on a T default. Like I love it actually. So Elige gets that opening kill, and you can see immediately like Astralis is reacting, right? Glaive is going to be running, sprinting all the way back to the B site now. You can see him in CT spawn right now. He's jetting back. Xyp9x is afraid people are getting close, and these guys are just ready to dump nades. So Elige tries to run up and catch them because he knows he got one of the two, right? He got one of the two guys playing B. We saw in the previous clip, Device was there with Xyp9x. But there's a third guy this time because Glaive is so quick to rotate back based on where he was on the map that he's here to get that frag on Elige. And then Xyp9x kills Stewie off with a nade. Stewie never saw anyone this round. RIP, man. That feels so bad. And we're already in, a 3-on-4, 30 seconds into this round, and Glaive still has a smoke. So now they're going to fall into this 3A setup with Glaive sitting on this smoke at Coffin. He knows no one else is in front of this smoke right now, so he can sit on his utility for a little bit longer. And basically, it's literally impossible for Liquid, I'm not going to lie. So he's playing counter flash, and then when it gets to a certain time, he's going to move spawn. He's kind of playing retake. Obviously, his teammates now, Kamikaze bombs at A, and round's over. All right, guys, so here we have another triple molly take coming through Banana. This one's slightly different. We're going to have a molly coming down mid that connects with a molly coming from Banana. So what we're going to see is actually something along the lines of a molly here, and a molly here with these two coming from Banana, and Device is going to launch this one down mid. So I'm going to try to watch Device just to show you the molly he throws, and then I'll quickly switch back to Glaive, who is going to be rushing Banana, and hopefully we can get everything. So we have Device rushing towards mid. You can see he's going to throw that deep molly. Right away, Glaive's mollying deep himself. Those mollies connect. Xyp9x actually just threw the flash. That's going to go behind Glaive, so that way he can just full rush half wall. So Glaive has a flash blowing up behind him right now. He's going to run in front of this car molly, just spraying, right? He doesn't see anyone. He just knows that if there is someone there, he's going to kill them because they're going to take a lot of HP in that molly. So if someone were to say, jump into this cubby, what's going to happen is that they have to take a smoke out to put out the molly, and they won't be able to fight Glaive, and he'll probably just get the kill through the smoke. If someone fights him from ramp, same thing. There has to be a protocol in place to deal with something like this if you want to stop it, right? You have to have first person put out the molly, blah, 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 blah. And what ends up happening this round is G2 senses, 3 people pushing Banana, and they immediately go into an A hit, right? Which sounds like the proper call, and it is. But you can see Astralis on both places at the A bomb site, they also are aware of this, so they counter smoke their spots, right? This is a reaction to the round, right? This is something Astralis has gone over, right? If you get this kill in Banana and the other team senses 3 people are there, counter smoke your spots at A, allow us to rotate back in through spawn, so that way by the time we get there, it's even numbers and we can hold this site. So no team likes jumping through smokes. No player likes jumping through smokes. It's very random, and it typically does not work at the top level. But you can see what happens because G2 doesn't, right? By the time G2 gets up mid, there's already 4 people at the A site when they kill Device. Glaive is already rotating back. So by the time G2 gets to the site, there's 4 people here. Glaive is about to be there. Xyp9x is coming. They already have a crossfire set up over here. TLDR, G2 loses this round. Shocker. And perfect CS out of Counter-Strike. Perfect CS out of Astralis. Next clip. All right, so here we have it again. Let's see it one more time, right? So EG on a little bit of a low buy. We've mentioned before, Astralis likes playing aggressive banana when the other team's on a low buy. So, you know, 3 people going towards banana. That deep molly coming down mid. Here's the flash coming over the wall. And Magic's full swinging. Same thing as Glaive, right? All the players on Astralis know if you're in that role, that top role, you molly deep and you better run. You better not stop. Right, so there's a free opening frag, banana dead, and you can see EG doing exactly what G2 did, right? They're immediately fast going into this, like, prodding by A feel. They're not letting mid get smoked off. They're trying to gain some ground back. And in the meantime, you know, Magic's running back. He's trying to switch up with Glaive, or I'm sorry, Xyp9x. So Xyp9x is now back at banana, which is his home spot. And it's very nice because he actually has a smoke still. So you can see he's just going to jump spot. He has a nade, he has a smoke, and he's just basically waiting for that flash right there, and then he's going to lob that grenade. Ouch. And he's sensing the hit coming, so there's the counter smoke, and you see Glaive coming spawn with the AWP. Xyp9x, flash. Dear God. I mean, what could EG have done? There's nothing. There's nothing. What more can they do? As a famous man once said, there's nothing more they can do because you are not getting into this bomb site. This bomb site, if you get into B on Astralis, from what I can tell, you got lucky. You got lucky somewhere or they messed up. Their utility usage is just so solid. The car one-way smoke. So I'm only going to include one clip of this. Astralis does use it a lot. I think this clip shows pretty much everything you need to see about how this thing works. Let's just dive into it. Let's go. So Xyp9x is going to line it up super easy. Just comes into this corner, aims at the corner right there in the little nook in the antenna. And your lead man here coming into banana, obviously the op on device. He's going to throw a deep molly into logs. And you'll see why in a second. So this smoke, the smoke you see in front of your screen, is the one Xyp9x threw. It's going to extinguish any molly the T's throw at the car. That's the value of it. But it also provides 2 places for the opper to peek. One, he could peek, you know, over in this little nook. It leaves a gap there. Or the opper could peek front half wall down here, which is what device is going to do, right? And keep in mind, he's mollying here. So he's flushing everyone out into his crosshair, and it's a lot of stuff going on here. So let's see. So there it is. Molly put out by the smoke, device peeking in front of it, and you can see immediately flushes in that corner. He puts out the molly with his own smoke because he knows he's in trouble right now, right? I mean, a lot of these players have seen this several times before. So you can see now all of the Astralis members are trying to line up this nade that they throw, and you throw it off that pillar. You can see they're going to throw it right here. It's going to go off the pillar into Flush's lap, and Flush is going to have a very, very sad end to this round. You will see now. So there's the double nades, and then Glaive's going to do him dirty and also bank a molly off that. So adios Flusha. They're going to take the 5-on-4, and you can see Glaive still has a smoke. He's going to go back and play the site. Fnatic's immediate reaction, of course, it's to hit the A bomb site, right? You see 3 people like that in banana. Your banana lurker dies. You lose all control. Your play is they hit the A bomb site. You can see Astralis knowing this already on that fast rotate back. So, I mean, we could see it's still a 3-on-3, but this is a round actually. It looks like Fnatic is going to win. So they made the right read in the situation despite losing a mana early. I think Fnatic is one of the best teams to watch play Astralis on Inferno. They do a really good job of actually getting the utility out of Astralis' hands, which is what I wanted to go over here. So you can see right off the start of the round, Astralis basically throwing some nades banana. This is their triple molly setup, as you can see. And Golden burning. He's in logs. They see that. They hear that. And Device actually gets a pick mid. And you can see actually Fnatic has in their mind, okay, 3 people push banana. Brolin's going to take top mid solo. It's a risk worth taking. I can respect that. You know, it's hard to explain that live in a match on for casters, but that's what happened right there. So you can see Glaive basically jump spotting, trying to play for info. They don't have much utility left. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. So they have no utility left on these B players. Xyp9x, Glaive in a bad spot. And the reason why they don't have a lot of utility is because they tried that triple molly push. It didn't work. They smoked deep. And this is the first gun round for them. So they haven't had the chance to build up an economy. So they do stuff like this, where they'll just do a random stack somewhere. They'll do this. And you can see the second that goes down, immediately, Magiska's rotating back, right? He's rotating back. And you can see the HPs on these Fnatic guys, not very good. I'm pretty sure Magisk actually gets one through the smoke in a second. Oh, no, he doesn't. I'm wrong. But the second it's in this, 2-on-1, they flush out everything with mollies, and Flush it dies, and Dupree defuse a bomb. So let's look at a couple more. I think actually the next round is another round that I can show you guys. So we're just gonna hop straight into this next round, like this. Okay. So again, Fnatic does an excellent job of getting the utility out of Astralis' hands. This time they have tons of utility. Xyp9x lining up that car utility set. So he's going to throw it. Golden gets in front. And that's what happens when you try to run past the car utility. See, they're kind of unsure about what they should do right now. They didn't use their nades because they don't know if more people snuck through. And they're right. People did actually sneak through. They're trying to get this utility out of them. And there's the smoke. So at this point in the round, Astralis has no more smokes, right? They have no more smokes, but they've done so much damage. And you can see right now, there's Xyp9x nade, taking one out there. There's Glaive's nade. And you can just see how brutal this is to deal with. And now, no utility left. What do? Let's both go into the site, right? Glaive has a molly still. Xyp9x obviously has nothing. So Glaive is going to actually boost Xyp up on top second oranges. And this is a clever little angle where basically he can see people running in that back wall. And the reason why people typically run in this back wall is so that way they're close to the spawn smoke, and this guy boosted up, if there's a guy boosted up on this ledge, he can't see you. So oftentimes T's run entering banana on the close wall. Also, if someone's coffin, you can see like their line of sight is typically like this. And if they wanted to kill you on that back wall, they would have to be standing over here and angled off, which isn't a very smart angle. You would get traded out. So that's why you see a lot of teams come in on the back wall. And that's why this spot works for Xyp9x. And you see Glaive's just jiggle peeking, trying to draw some attention. But I guess the more important thing is just probably show you how this angle works. So that's how the angle works. It's super cheese. I love seeing it in pro play. The second he makes that contact, Glaive throws the molly like that. And Dupree's already in spawn. There's the flash. Brolin's full white. Still not going to peek, though, because these guys play perfect Counter-Strike. And Dupree's here. And the round's over. Okay. Cool. So you can see there's tons of layers to these guys' game, right? It's not only, hey, let's just try to go like 2 for 2, get all their utility out of them, and trade into the sites. It's still not that easy. There's tons of layers that you have to keep peeling back these layers, and eventually you get to the point where you're like, okay, now we just have to space ourselves properly, throw a perfect flashbang, and trade the kills. Okay, let's keep going. All right, guys, here's the last round. I'm gonna show you where they have no utility left, and you can see it's 15-14. They don't have the best buy in the world. They don't have the most utility. So let's see how exactly they deal with this, right? So we have Glaive coming towards the B side, obviously, with Xyp9x early round. Early flash off the half wall, and he's trying to just basically get a sense for what's going on. He hears Kenny take that op shot, so he's like, okay, they're playing outside of banana. I'm gonna smoke deep, I'm gonna molly close, Xyp is gonna molly deep. This is kind of like their anti-eco setup, right? They know, based on winning these previous rounds, G2 isn't on the best buy, right? G2 counter molly's car. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here, honestly. But you can see it's very important to Astralis to fight for banana because they don't have much right now. So very rarely do you see them make that decision. So I kind of wanted to highlight this round because of this. So 119 left on the clock. Xyp9x just re-smoked the bottom banana. Glaive must have a feeling, you know, we can get this for free. We should just fight. We should all have a quick rotate to A and just see how things play out. Whatever. So they smoke bottom. Glaive is kind of just spamming the smoke, and then he waits till the last second and gets close. And we've seen this before. We know what's going to happen. The jump spots are coming. Believe Xyp9x just spotted Kenny. And then there you go. The triple kill coming out of Glaive. And Xyp9x knows he does not have to fight. A lot of people make the mistake in Xyp9x scenario of when someone in Glaive's scenario is fighting, they'll swing out wide. And when this isn't smoked, you're just asking to get opt or traded, because that's what people like Simple and Kenny S do. They sit in the second, third position, sometimes fourth, and they'll wait for the second frag, right? The first frag that everyone and their mom sees, right here, that's what the entry fraggers are going for, right? People are going to come in hard clearing this, but Simple and, you know, Kenny S in this clip, for example, they're going to post for the second kill because that's their role in shots. And Xyp9x knows that from tons of experience. So he's backing off to the site, and that's how they secure a T. Ultimately end up winning this game. Last section, Vintage Astralis. All right, so this section doesn't necessarily fall into any of the other categories I've created. I mean, shit, I could make this video like 2 hours, honestly, with just nonstop new looks that Astralis has. But this is stuff that you'll run into if you play Astralis time and time again. So stuff like this, like triple nading banana. And then if you look on radar right now, you can see two of their players just immediately heading back to A, right? What they're trying to do is they want you to go A. They're triple nading banana, so that way if you rush banana, you're just going to get absolutely wrecked, right? All up in this area is just death. 3 nades hitting right there, and then immediately you can see Xyp9x climbing up to his little spot. He's getting ready to throw his utility. Meanwhile, 2 people are heading back to the A site, so by the time an A hit happens, these guys have 4 people at A, right? You're falling into their trap if you do the obvious thing. And this is why it's so difficult to play these guys. You see they already mollied halls, so Hunter can't come out, you know? That's been mollied by the first rotator. And now Glaive has a molly primed for lane on Device's shot, and Magus is just holding the smoke. So A site went from being, you know, weak as hell to just totally locked down within, you know, 7 seconds. And it's nearly impossible to hit the right windows and have the people in the right spots to abuse Astralis as they float around the map, because they know what you should be thinking based on the utility you've seen. So again, going back to this B site, Xyp9x, he just mollied car, so that way if there was people there, you know, getting ready for an exec, they're deterred from coming. So now he smokes, and he smokes because Glaive is coming, and Glaive has a smoke now. So now Glaive can sit on his smoke for the next, you know, 30 seconds. So you can see G2, who originally was probably going to actually come back to this B site and abuse it, now is forced to go back because they realize this ain't the answer, fam. This is not it. So Glaive dropping his smoke at 46, and they're going to be ready for this A hit by the time it happens. So you can see Magus dropping to the pit. Jesus, there's so much going on right here. So he actually drops a one-way smoke at the at the bike. Gets an easy frag there. And I mean, there's just no right answer. As you move around the entire map, these guys use utility to absolute perfection. This is vintage Astralis. Let's take a look at one more clip. All right, guys, here it is. The last clip we're going over. So it's going to be Liquid getting dominated again, unfortunately, for all my fellow North American friends. So we have 3 people coming over towards B at the start. We have Device sitting there with a flash primed. And you can see they're just trying to, you know, play it by ear, see what they can get. Molly close, Molly logs, nade, double nade into the corner. So again, they're filtering you into the places they want you to be, right? So a molly here in this corner and a molly close pretty much makes it so that way you have to stay in this area. So what do? They molly those 2 spots, and then they nade off of that pillar into the cubby. And that's why Elijah is starting the round with 24 HP. right? This is something we haven't really gone over yet, necessarily. Like, we haven't seen it yet. I mean, they have so many looks that I feel like I could have made this video 14 hours long. But see right now, device getting pushed off the angle, and he knows to not unscope. He knows to not make noise. He knows to not show that his op is here. So he just stays scoped in, and he just backs off, right? He's giving it to him. He wants them to come into this. And you see Zipix also here, smoked primed, right? So I really could go either way. I could watch either one of these players, to be honest, but we'll just go in the middle. I'll just show you guys how this is going to look. So device gets the opening kill, immediately just backpedaling into the site. He's going to throw that molly down. Zipix counter smoking. Twist only goal right now is trying to look for a trade kill, right? He's just desperately trying to look for it. Zipix doesn't care. He's coming through the molly, gets the first kill, runs back into the smoke. Glaive's already rotating spawn right here, and he's about to spray the smoke. So rotate spawn, spraying the smoke. Device still alive, new box, just dies. Glaive spamming the smoke gets that kill and that kill, both super low from the early utility damage. And now Naf is left on a 1-on-4 with 12 HP, right? It's just not going to happen. So that's pretty much Astralis on Inferno in a nutshell, right? On the B bomb side, at least. There's so much more happening at A. You can see how many layers there are to this, right? There's a lot of depth to this bomb site for them. I didn't even go over half of the stuff that I wrote down. When I initially watched, 7 demos, I think I had like 45 rounds that I wanted to go over. I don't know how many are going to make this video. Obviously, I can't make this video 2 hours long. So I hope you guys can be as passionate about this style of Counter-Strike as I am. That's my goal with this video, is basically to show you what I'm super passionate about, this utility usage and teamwork. You can see how thought out this stuff is. Like, these guys don't just hop into a server and decide, hey, let you two go B, we'll play A. There's so much preparation involved in just one bomb site on one map. And this is why you really can't see a team play all 7 maps to perfection, because this is just too much. Like, no one can remember all of this stuff. And this is also why it's so difficult to anti-Astralis, right? I want you guys to know all of this stuff, so that way, when I'm on the desks in the future, I can reference stuff that I've probably referenced in the past that it goes over a lot of people's heads. So I also want to see like tons of teams developing their game to look like this. I think this is peak Counter-Strike. I really do. I think Astralis has brought something to Counter-Strike that is so special. I appreciate the hell out of this team, and I think they have a lot more titles left in them. Just because they're slumping right now doesn't mean they're not going to win again. Like, you saw what's in this video. I can't do this for other teams. Like, it's not this deep. So yeah, if you guys made it this far, cool. Thank you so much for watching this video. Put like a heart or something in the comments if you made it this far, so I know who the real ones are, So I know who the real ones are that made it this far. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I have a lot more content coming. I'm going to get back on this grind. I'm super passionate about... I'm kind of coaching the community. So I'll be the community coach out here. So, all right. No one else will do it, so I am. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. Peace.